Workaway.info. What is it and how do you use it?
Find out in this video that we're about to say and do.
Yeah! We've used Workaway 3 times already. We've used a few other websites that we've talked about, but 3 times we've used Workaway. Twice have been great, 1 not so great.
How do you make sure that your Workaway experience is going to be good? Because going into that one experience that we had that was not so great, we kind of already had a feeling from the beginning that it wasn't going to be that great. And that's something that we should have been more aware of. So we're making this video to share with you guys what you need to know to have a great Workaway experience.
Workaway is a website where you go and find a host that kind of needs a volunteer. It's where you get food and housing for certain hours of volunteer work a day. Some of the hosts, they require 3 to 5 hours a day, some for 5 days a week, or 6 days a week.
And in exchange, you typically get food provided. Sometimes they cook for you, and you get a place to sleep and stay. We've heard horror stories of people who've done it in some weird far-off place where they didn't ask any questions and they slept in a barn under the stars while it was raining, and that's not a good experience. We want you to have a good one.
Some of the ways to avoid being in a bad situation. One of them being read the whole host profile. Don't just read the first paragraph, be sure to read the full profile. In that, you can learn kind of what the personality is going to be of your host. They also say how long and what they expect you to do while you're with them, which is very important if you've never laid concrete before and they need a concrete person.
Don't say you can do that.
Exactly. Those are some of the things to look for, as well as in the bottom of the profile, references. I do not suggest going to a host who has 0 references. We learned this the hard way.
Workaway's review system it works a little different from many other people, and it's not ideal, to be honest. When you leave a review for someone on Workaway, it tells you, hey look, this is going to be a bad reflection on you and the other person.
If you're leaving a bad review.
Right, so right away you feel like, I don't want to make my profile look bad. Then on top of that, they will shut down your profile on Workaway for a month while they do a formal investigation. Now for us, because we're traveling for 12 months, we can't afford to have our profile shut down for a month because we need to look for a place to stay. And it appears that this is exactly what happened with our bad experience, because she's had 6 to 8 people before us through Workaway and she has 0 references still. That's sort of a downside to the review system on Workaway. So definitely go with the host who's got several good reviews.
Also, I suggest you set up a Skype call with your host ahead of time so that you two can kind of get to know each other in a face-to-face kind of atmosphere, or even on the phone hearing the person speak can give you a completely different understanding of who the person is by just going through emails. Another thing is to ask a lot of questions. Be sure to ask for pictures of where you'll be staying, what your room will look like, so that when you come, you don't have any surprises of staying in a barn or being in a tent in the backyard. You want to be sure to eliminate any situation where you're going to be uncomfortable in somebody else's space.
So just know that it's going to be a little bit of a worker-employee relationship, a little bit, because you're coming there to work, you're coming there to help volunteer, and you're giving a certain amount of time. Sometimes some hosts will say, work 8 hours this day and you'll get 4 days off. It just depends on the whole situation. So you'll come in, you'll work, but you'll also make some great friends probably, especially if you've already established that you have a good rapport with your host. And it's gonna be a really fun time because you get to work a little bit and then live somewhere essentially for free and get to learn and experience the culture.
Workaway is set up to be a cultural experience so that you can learn about the culture that you're in, something that's different from what your own culture is. So it's exciting to go with an open mind, know that you can learn so many new things and get to know so many new people. We strongly recommend Workaway. Even if we had that one bad experience, it's a good experience for us to share with you guys how to avoid situations like that. If you have any more questions about Workaway, please leave it in the comments below. We are more than happy to help you. with finding a host, finding a country to go to, or if you have any questions of any of the Workaway experiences we've had.
I hope we encouraged you to get there and travel today, perhaps with Workaway.info. And we'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, it's hard to choose. Like this one is nice because it's tart, but this one is very smooth and sweet.
It's, I would say this one a little bit more for food.
All right, so we have our glasses of wine. Johannes from Hollenbach helped us out. If you guys want to ever come here, go to hollenbach.de and hang out in the dude's garage and get some wine. It's awesome.
It's really great.
What are you doing?
I'm just making some notes so that